Hi friends, welcome. It is day 10 of our spring cleaning challenge. I hope that you found a lot of inspiration so far. The last item that we have on our challenge list is an email clean. My email box can get a little overloaded. I'm somewhere in between keeping it organized and letting it just completely go. Somewhere in the middle. And you might be somewhere on the spectrum as well. So some of these tips may be really easy for you and some of them may take a little bit longer. I will tell you that once it is done and once you are organized in this area of your life, it does help you to feel a little less stress when you go into your email account and you need to access the things that need to be accessed. You're not going to get as buried, hopefully, is the goal. I have Gmail. And so when I access my Gmail, I actually go to the website gmail.com and my Gmail on there sorts it into 3 categories already. So I have a primary, social, and promotions categories. So any emails or notifications that come in via email on social would be like from Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, those types of things. Anything that is social media related. That comes across as a notification. Now, in each of those apps, you can go in and you can ask for there to not be a notification emailed to you. That is also an option. So if you basically don't use that and you are still getting emails, go in there and turn that off and just save yourself the extra notifications and the extra emails in your inbox. The promotions one for me is set up to be mostly like stores, coupons that come through, different places where I've signed up for their email list. And then I have a primary one, which for me, the way I have had it sorted over time is mostly stuff that comes from school, things from my Bible study. There are occasionally some promotional emails that make their way into my primary, which is fine. Just a few here and there. Sometimes I'll actually click on them and just drag them over to train my Gmail to sort them. Now, if you don't have this as an option, there's a few things that you can do just to kind of sort through the massive amount of emails that we can receive in one day. The first thing is you can unsubscribe. So that is probably the easiest and the quickest way to reduce the inflow of emails into your inbox. And if you're like me, I don't always shop at certain stores, but I do like to have the promo codes. So I do actually like to stay on their email list. I just don't want to see every email that comes through. So there's 2 ways you can do that if you don't have an automatic sort. Is that you can make your email go into folders automatically. So whenever a email from Nordstrom's comes in, it will automatically go into either a shopping, coupon, or even as specific as Nordstrom's, however you want it to be filed. So get a little bit of thought around, how do I want to use my email? What is most important when I go into my email box? What do I want to show up right away? Everything else should be set up to be sorted or automatically find a way to mass delete. So the first step is going to be going through, this is the hardest part, is going through and actually deleting a ton of stuff, a lot of old stuff. I have old emails that I had sorted from my kids when they were, 5 years ago in school. These things, they just kind of take up space. To me, they are just like cluttery. And so if you feel the same way, go back in some of those old folders. If you have actually sorted in the past, go back into those old folders and start deleting, like just cut a little bit of the weight. And in your inbox as well. One way that you can also do that is if you want to sort by the sender, you can select every email from the gap and delete them all at once, because you do not need all of them. You only really need the most current, the one from the last like week, because that's the one that's going to have any promo codes that you maybe still want to hang on to. And then as you're doing that, figuring out how to sort them or drag them over to files. So don't be afraid of taking them out of your inbox and moving them to areas where they're going to be useful when you want them. For my kids, and I'm going to open this up really quick. I have different things that I volunteer for. So for NMES, which is just one of the things I volunteer for, I actually have a folder and then subfolders in that. So when I get the minutes from a meeting sent to me, or when I have transactions with like what kind of grants are going on and all that sort of thing, I actually put that all into a folder. I don't leave it in my inbox because chances are it's either going to get accidentally deleted or it's just going to get buried in there. So moving it over to a specific file makes sure that I keep those items I want to keep safe. Okay. For my kids, I have a kids folder, and then I broke mine down, and yours is going to look a little bit different depending on the activities that you're in, but I actually broke it down by activity. So I had grades, so 5th grade, 6th grade. Actually, I don't even have a 7th grade folder. I just don't get as many emails in that way. I have a general school information. So those are like newsletters that come through. I need to go in there and I need to delete the ones from previous years. It's just not important to keep around in there. I coached for Girls on the Run. That was another volunteering thing, but it was with my kids. So I actually have a Girls on the Run folder in there. And then just a general sports folder, which your sports folder may be, soccer, football, basketball. You may want to break it down into other mini folders, and that is perfectly fine. I don't think you can necessarily have too many, as long as it's sorting itself properly to save you time. The whole point of this is to save you time. I do have different files for my businesses that I run. So anything that's related, I coach Pilates, anything that's Pilates related, that goes into. So all the training emails that come through, those all go into the same file. I have a sponsor child. Her name is Anna. She sends me things and sends me pictures. Those are really sentimental to me. And so I put all of those in. She's got her own file so that I can go in and I can see all the digital copies of things that she has sent me over the past, 4 years or so. Things that are important. I also, and this is a really important one to create as you're making like your list of what you want filed, is travel. So when we make any sort of travel plans for upcoming trips, vacations, if you're in business, you might want a business travel folder. We actually move all of those emails and all of the itineraries directly into that travel folder. And that really, really simplifies when it's getting closer for us to go on vacation, or as things are recently, when it gets closer to having to cancel vacations. We have all of the information, all of the things that we've already booked right there in one spot, and easy to find and to handle. So however you end up setting up your folders, that is probably the easiest. Most of them, you'll just be able to drag them into a folder, or in Gmail on the top, once you click on an email, you have the option to move to a folder. If you don't have a folder option, or you don't have a sorting option for your inbox, I would suggest changing your email. I don't have an answer for that one, other than that's how it needs to be. Otherwise, for every email that comes through to all be just in your inbox and have to go through all of them, it drives me crazy. That would drive me crazy. It would be too much. Everything would be buried in all those promotional emails, and I would end up losing out on some of the things that were more important to me. My husband has a little app. There's different apps that you can use to help manage your emails as well. It's called Sane Later. I think is what it's called. And so he has this little swipe thing that if he wants to be reminded about an email later on, he'll just swipe it one direction and it will put it into a folder and remind him, almost like resend him, not actually another copy of the email, but it will bring it back up to the top when he's ready to respond. So when he needs the reminder to respond. So if he gets an email and he doesn't really have to respond to it immediately, he will sane later it, and he will say in, 2 hours or in 2 days, whatever he wants it to be. And then it will revisit itself up to the top when he is sitting down and going through his email. So those are just a few tips. Hopefully that helps to guide you a little bit. And good luck with your emails. If you guys have your own things that have really worked for you, ways that you have kept things organized in this area of your life, or even just ways that this has like impacted areas of your life. Maybe you see that little red dot and it just drives you crazy on your home screen. I'll tell you that we can waste a lot of time sifting through email or just noticing it and going in and constantly deleting it. This is one of those things that I personally suggest doing in batches. So get it organized, get it sorted out, take care of the project, and then once a day or maybe twice a day, have official check-in times where you can go in, you can sort, you can organize, and you can respond. Having this ongoing, always feeling like you have to check it, always feeling like you have to immediately respond to things, it sets you up for a lot more stress revolving around this simple correspondence that should really be a tool and not like puppet strings for your day. Again, this is a personal email. If it's a work email, you may have different guidelines for that. But I still think that the folders is probably a very good way to organize no matter what type of structure you are working within. So have a great day, and I hope that you guys have successful email purging and you can clear out all that old spam and get a nice, clean, refreshed email box. We'll talk to you soon.